You're about to watch a special edition of the Fumblerooski podcast in a special collaboration with the PeskyPolePodcast. I'm your host, Adam Wright, along with co-host Justin Tucker. We are here with Robert Shelley, the host of the PeskyPolePodcast, and we're going to be here with a bunch of other people in this special edition.
It is very special. Without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we have been preparing for this for a while now. We have a ton of people on. We were supposed to have 7, but Kelsey Miranda decided he didn't want to show up and he would rather play golf. But we have 6 of us for a collaborative, I can't say that word, episode of the Pesky Pole Podcast and the Fumblerooski Podcast, the 69th episode of the Pesky Pole Podcast, plus the 20th episode of the Fumblerooski Podcast recorded on April 20th. Say it with me if you're out there. Nice. All right, let me go through and introduce you guys to everyone on. First, let's go with our 2 Fumblerooski hosts. First, the guy who my basketball fans have seen a ton, way too much, honestly. Adam, say what's up to the people.
Hello there.
Short and sweet. Okay, you still got more?
Yeah, so yes, it is episode 69 on 420, but another little nugget of information here. Where we're living, it's 69 degrees out. So nice.
Of course it is. I didn't even know that. We are going to be insanely immature this episode, and I apologize to the fans out there. Next, we have our other Fumblerooski podcast host, Justin. Say what's good to the people.
Hi, people. Pleasure to meet you.
All right. And sitting by him, we have a guy who he's never been on your show, right, Adam?
We've invited him a few times, and he's been on a couple times. He actually almost was here from the start, but he's kind of wussed out a little bit. He doesn't want to. He's a little bit shy, but he's got the energy.
Doesn't surprise me at all. Andrew, say what's up.
Hello, everybody.
We had to drag him in to get him to even be in this, but I wanted as many people as possible. And now our 2 special guests, one that you have seen, I believe, once. This is the second time on the show, Fumblerooski Podcast fans. You have not seen this guy before, but he knows his stuff about football, is commenting almost every week some Patriot stuff in my comments. JD, say what's up.
What's up, guys? And yep, Patriots right here.
Ride or die. And trust me. And finally, we have one of, I believe, the OG fan member of the Pesky Pole Podcast. He's been following me for almost a year now, has to be. It's something like that. I don't know why I've never had him on the show, and it kills me that it's been this long. But Patrick, introduce yourself to the people.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Patrick, I never asked, how old are you?
20.
You're 20, okay. So, and tell the fans what terrible news we just heard about your favorite football team.
That we're probably going to win the Super Bowl coming up. I'm a Cowboy fan.
How about them Cowboys?
We them boys.
I'm upset. I am very, very upset. All right, disown him as other fans if you want, but I sadly can't. He is truly the OG fan, and I'd have to say JD was like the second OG fan of the channel. But without further ado, let's get started talking about the Red Sox. I know Adam's going to use this episode for his Fumblerooski podcast. For you football fans, don't worry. About 30 or so minutes in, we'll start getting into some football action. So, this Red Sox team has surprised all of us, right? If this pattern keeps going on for the rest of the season, guess how many wins they'd have, JD?
Well, it's got to be near 90-ish.
If they keep going at this pattern they've been at, it would be 104 wins. Now, realistically, are they going to stay at this pattern? 4 of us immediately start shaking our head no. But what I want to do is I want to go around the horn, first of all, and give me one good thing that you have seen throughout the season for this Red Sox team. I'll go first, and I know I'm being very biased with this, but I got to say Garrett Whitlock. All right, that's my dude. He still has not allowed a singular earned run. All right, I even got him on my fantasy team, and he is killing it for me. All right, this dude, I said it right from the jump, had to be one of our X Factor pitchers coming out. If he can be added into one of those guys that we can really trust, then that just bolsters our bullpen to be, we'll call it competent. Right? The losses that we've had, the 6 of them, those have been losses that it was mainly the offense's problem. We haven't really had a day where the bullpen has really killed us outside of those first 3 games. Every other game that we've lost, those 3 others have just been the offense. So with having a competent bullpen led by this young and upcoming guy, Garrett Whitlock, that's just going to be amazing for us for years to come. All right, let me toss it over to Andrew. Andrew, what you thinking about this Red Sox team?
Right now, I feel like we're definitely doing good. I feel like if our offense is there, like from top to bottom, we're pretty solid throughout the lineup. A lot of tough outs. And besides that, I hope the pitching continues. And yeah.
All right. The question is, I got to ask you guys, just raise your hand. How many of you guys think we legitimately have a top 10 offense in the league right now? Patrick, I'm going to you next then. Why not? And what's good about this Red Sox team that's keeping us at 11-6, top of the division?
I mean, I think it starts obviously with JD Martinez and Bogarts, and that's kind of unrealistic to think that they're going to stay that way. They're almost both batting 400. So I think you're going to see a regression a little bit, obviously, just to where the great hitters are. And so I think it's just we're outplaying even like where a great expectation is. I think we're still outplaying that. So I think it's just going to regress a little bit.
I completely agree with that. And here's the thing I'm going to say now. Xander Bogaerts, 407 batting average confirmed. He's going to do it. I have complete no faith at all, but it's worth a try. But I can see with what you're saying about JD and Xander leading it, but baseball is one of those sports where it's more than just 2-man game. I can see this offense, right? The 2 guys that have really struggled for us right now are Hunter Renfroe and Bobby Dahlbeck. Those 2 dudes need to turn it around. Bobby Dahlbeck, I think, is batting below 100 or low 100s right now. And Hunter Renfroe is like 180 something at this point. Other than that, I have no complaints. But I know if we turn it over to Adam right now, he's going to start complaining about Franchy Cordero at some point. So Adam, just get it out of the way.
You know, you keep on coming at me with this early season success with Franchy Cordero. He's batting 350. Franchy Cordero, he's batting 350.
Take that for data.
But it keeps on. Notice how it keeps on going down. Hey, he's batting 286. Hey, Franchy Cordero's batting 270. Hey, Franchy Cordero's batting 250. Like, it just keeps on going. Just keep on, like, sooner or later, he's going to be batting like 217, and you're going to be like, hey, still better than Andrew Benintendi.
Hey, he's batting 270, by the way, right now.
Yeah,
as of right now.
He's batting 270 right now. Andrew
Benintendi's batting 204.
Shut up. As for this season in general, I think we basically were able to expect this offense to be the strength of this team and to be elite throughout the season, just top to bottom through their lineup. I know, Patrick, you mentioned JD Martinez and Xander Bogaerts. You're missing Alex Verdugo and Rafael Devers. There's top to bottom, that offense is lethal. We expected that, but the way this season is going to go, it starts with their pitching. You know, we didn't expect their pitching to be as serviceable as it is, and that's the reason why they're off to such a fast start, because we knew that the hitting was going to be good. It came down to the pitching. Now, another thing to add on to this is, and I don't think this is talked about enough, but there's a lot of pressure. There was a lot of pressure going into this season on the Red Sox. They had a lot to prove, especially with the manager who was suspended for a season. He comes back and he has a lot to prove. And if let's say he doesn't do well, then why would Chaim Bloom hang on to him? And it's the same thing with a lot of these other players, such as JD Martinez, who's having a marvelous bounce back season. It just comes down to the pitching and the fact that they had a lot to prove coming into this year.
I honestly can't find much to complain about with that answer. But I do want to ask this, and I'm going to go around the horn real quick. Starting with Andrew and Justin, guess what place this team is in pitching-wise for earned run average? Like they're the blank best pitching team based on ERA.
You guessing? I'm not quite sure. I want to say probably maybe middle of the pack, maybe.
So like 15?
Yeah, probably around that.
Justin?
10 to 15 sounds about right.
JD?
I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna say 9.
Patrick?
Yeah, I would probably say about 10 right now.
Adam?
I'm gonna go with the crowd here and say around 10 to 15, like around that area.
Well, Patrick got it perfect. We are the 10th best pitching team, according to ERA. According to batting average, we're the best hitting team in the league right now. So even with Bobby Dahlbeck and Hunter Renfroe, who are still everyday starters basically, not doing as much as we can really want out of them, we're still the best batting team in the league. We're 288, and the second best team is the Angels at 265. So we've been doing something right at the plate. But let me get to JD. JD, give me one good thing about this Red Sox team.
So yeah, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with the bullpen rotation. I mean, when we pretty much brought back the same guys, so starting the games hasn't been a problem, especially when most of the starters have gone 5 innings. The offense is there. I'm gonna say that the bullpen surprised me, especially Matt Barnes, really solidifying that closing spot. I was one who agreed with you. I really thought that the spot would be Adam Ottavino's, and not saying that Ottavino hasn't done a good job. I think Matt Barnes has just done objectively better. Especially, I know there's a game I was watching. He almost had the immaculate inning, just strikeout. Last guy fouled off the last strike to get the immaculate inning, but still struck out the side. So he's been a pleasant surprise. And if he can stay this form the entire season, I'll be happy.
If he could stay this form the entire season, and that's something I completely forgot to mention, was Matt Barnes, who I would really contend is truly the best pitcher, not even in our bullpen, just out of all of our pitchers right now. He's been the best so far this season. If he keeps playing like this throughout the season, he's at an all-star level. And not even that, when Matt Barnes comes in the clutch and we're up 4-2 against the Orioles and then goes 1-2-3 down the side, it makes me feel some kind of way, and it makes Justin feel another kind of way because he is an Orioles fan and he's upset. So a little bit different question for Justin, but the Orioles suck. How does it feel?
Better than expected, to be honest. I mean, we're 7-9. I actually thought we were way out of it. I thought we'd be where the Yankees are right now, so I'm fine with it.
You guys are doing better than the Yankees, so
I know, right?
Mhm.
As long as we're doing better than the Yankees, I have nothing to complain with. I knew we weren't making the playoffs. That 3-0 start was just a fluke.
Hey, Adam said you guys were going 162-0 right off rip.
Just
we wanted to make him feel good about himself. So
Yeah, you're right.
mm-hmm.
He's also my roommate, so you never know what he's going to be doing while I'm sleeping.
Okay, you could take that a million different ways. But with that, let me just go over some stats with you guys real quick. Like we said, our main guys who have been leading this offense were Xander and JD. Xander went down a little bit. He's at 386, JD 383. And it's beautiful what you could do with JD if you just give him a video room. Now, here are two that are surprising me. Christian Arroyo and Christian Vasquez are batting 316 and 308. So I'm just going to go to one of you. Let me go to Patrick. What do you think about Christian Arroyo? What's his place on this team, really? Because right now, Kike Hernandez has that second base spot. But right now, he's doing okay at a 269. But if Christian Arroyo keeps up a 316, what's his spot?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you have those kind of guys where, like, it seems like there's more depth, but it's tough with Christian Arroyo because I don't really think he's better than Kike Hernandez. But I mean, obviously he's outplaying him, so he should be getting the time. But Christian Vasquez, on the other hand, I mean, he's killing it. In terms of other catchers, like around the MLB, he's shocked me by far.
I've been pleasantly surprised, and this is coming from a guy that said right off rip, trade him. All right, I said right off rip in the offseason, I said trade him to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just like, oh my God, we just went to a World Series. Let's contend. So I think they would have came in, took Vasquez, and gave us a haul of prospects for him. But now seeing that, and especially at the beginning of the year when he said he feels the greatest he's ever felt, that kind of gave me a little bit of confidence in him. Being able to just say, let's just roll with this guy and see what happens. So let me go to JD. Hunter Renfroe. What do we do about him? Is it too early to tell? Is he still a starter for us? Where do we place him right now?
So I'm going to say a little too early to tell. I know his best at the plate so far was that snow home run in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Barely got out the wall. Byron Buxton tried to rob it. It got out. That's pretty much the best we've seen him at the plate. The thing is, he was out. I think it was soreness, and we were kind of shuffling the outfield. I think right now with how Arroyo is batting, putting Arroyo at second, Hernandez center, Verdugo right, Franchi in left, it's kind of been the good mix. I think right now with how Franchi is kind of just out of the outfield, having Franchi and Hunter Renfroe switch out, whether it's Franchi and left on one day, cycle out the outfielders, throw in Marwin Gonzalez, have Renfroe and right. I just think that everybody else, basically Verdugo and Hernandez, could be staples in the outfield with Arroyo playing second, and just kind of rotate at left field, right field, since Verdugo has the flexibility to switch around to give us our best hitting outfield.
So is Marwin Gonzalez an outfielder, or is he our backup first baseman?
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's our starting first baseman, because Bobby Dahlbeck has only been flashing leather, but Marwin's been flashing it a little better than he has. Bobby Dahlbeck, love Bobby, but it's been abysmal at the plate. Again, his best performance came where he had two doubles the opposite way in Minnesota. Other than that, hasn't been much. And Marwin, the only thing I don't like about him at this point is his base running. Getting caught in rundowns at third all the time.
That one play against the Orioles was beautiful. My man's he wasn't even trying to run. He was just full out spinning.
Yeah, he's been great at first base, and he can play everywhere, shortstop, second base, outfield, but he's kind of shown that he's actually been making great plays at first, and I like a first baseman that's going to be getting throws, especially when Rafi's got a great arm at third. Kind of bounces it in the dirt sometimes. Both Bobby Dahlbeck and Marwin have shown a good job handling those throws from Devers. I think Marwin just handled it a lot better. So even though Marwin isn't getting the everyday starts, I'd actually take him out of that rotation in the outfield and start rotating him in between first and second, mainly second on off days. But I think Marwin should be the starting first baseman.
It's funny you say that, because you were talking about Bobby Dahlbeck's abysmal season at the plate. As of right now, Marwin Gonzalez is worse at the plate than Bobby Dahlbeck. I know it's hard to see, because right now it doesn't feel like it, but Bobby Dahlbeck's batting 214 and Marwin's batting 209, which is weird, but I know how you feel. But with both of them struggling at the plate, Adam, I want to ask you, if you were Alex Cora right now, would you consider bumping down one of the pitchers, say Josh Taylor, who absolutely sucks, and bringing up Michael Chavis?
I mean, like as I've said before, with this offense, they've their offense has been fine. I don't really think they've needed any help. Why, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and honestly, with the way this pitching staff has gone so far this season, with Chaim Bloom, especially with his track record down in Tampa, just being the straight pitching whisperer that he has been, and with the job he's done, I trust what he's doing. And and honestly, this pitching staff could use all the help it can get. If we want to hang on to Josh Taylor, or at least call up somebody else, then you do that. But I don't see the need for Michael Chavis right now.
I find that interesting, mainly because with our 26-man roster right now, the only guy that's really doing atrocious, you could maybe make an argument for the other one, is Josh Taylor right now, who's got a 9.53 ERA, has pitched 5 innings and allowed 6 runs. It's not great. WHIP of a 2.6. I know it's early, but at the same time, those aren't promising. And this is coming off a season where he absolutely sucked. Right? Last year he had a 9.82 ERA.
So are we bringing up Chavis, or are we bringing up another relief pitcher? I don't see the use in Michael Chavis, to be honest. I like Michael Chavis, but do they need him? I think they need more relief pitching. I mean, yes, they've been great so far, but is there anybody else in that minor league system that could actually help them right now?
Anyone else chime in if you know of somebody, but right now, out of relief pitchers, I would say maybe Brian Mata, but I think it's too early to bring him up.
Or just bring a starter up. Stick him in the bullpen.
Yeah, that's Brian Mata is a starter. But other than that, do you guys know of anyone else that could possibly bump up in this minor league system? Oh, Zach Bryan. And yeah, exactly. So with that being said, I want to go over to our two boys over there, Andrew and Justin, and I want to ask them about that same kind of thing. But where did I put this thing? Did I lose it? I lost my stats. But yeah, so I wanted to ask you guys about, I know, Justin, you're an Orioles fan, but Garrett Richards, our quote-unquote big signing, question mark, has still sucked this year. 6 ERA is just not looking pretty. Do we take him out of the starting rotation, even though it's really early? And if so, who do we put in?
So I don't know. Yes, right now, I say give it another start or two, but yes, he's been our worst starter right now. So I say, I don't know who would fill in that role, but yes, as I agree with you, he's not doing too hot right now. So, and we had high hopes on him. So
your big signing, he's playing like a bum.
You can't talk because Trey Mancini will be traded very soon. Do we need to talk about Manny Machado, Renato Nunez?
We don't have to talk about it. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No.
I know this is Red Sox podcast. We go into that stuff.
I mean, we could talk about the 3-0 start, and then
yeah, and then after that, I was just gone downhill so fast.
It is what it is. As long as
it is what it is.
It's a good season.
Yeah, we just don't like that 1-6 record at home, though.
I don't know why we suck at home.
I don't either. But 2 more things I want to talk about. What was the first one? I don't even remember. Okay, maybe one more thing that I talk about because I have the attention span of a squirrel. How about them Yankees? We can all agree there. All right. I just got to ask guys, because this is normal between us, that the Yankees really have terrible starts. This is nothing new. And then around middle of May into early June, they'll be like, oh, wait, we're actually decent. Let's try. And then they come back and win the division. So I got to ask guys, even with this rough start, what are we expecting for the Yankees? Adam, starts off.
It's unfair that even on a down year, and I don't understand how the Red Sox can't do this too on a down year, that even on a down year, the Yankees always finish with a winning record.
It's because they throw their money at the problems. Big market problems.
this is a big market too. And this is another like side take that I've always had, and it's always what I will hold against the Red Sox. But with the amount of, and I hate to make this more about the Red Sox now, but with the amount of resources and money that this team has, that this Red Sox team has, the franchise has historically had, they should never be finishing in last place, let alone losing record. And to be honest, they should be, if they did everything right, like the Yankees have, they should be right there with the Yankees, but they're not. And I'm a little upset about that.
And here's the thing too, right? Like you said, we're not really I define big market teams as New York and LA. Those are the two teams that can just throw all the money in the world at their problems and make the playoffs every single year. Even on down years, they're a wild card team.
Red Sox have money.
Yeah, but not as much as those two, and don't spend it as wisely as those two. But it's not like we're the Blue Jays or the Rays or the Orioles, these small market teams. How dare they make it to the playoffs?
There you go. They don't spend it wisely.
Exactly. No,
they're stupid.
You're right about that. Patrick, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think the Red Sox are definitely a big market team, and like we've been stuck in the luxury tax because we don't know how to spend it wisely. And I think it's like a good direction that we're in now, where we're going for a younger depth. Like I would have loved Mookie Betts, but to see these guys like actually make a ton of progress and like look good, like I don't think it's that sustainable, but it's a promising start, and there's a lot of potential there, I think.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I said this right from the jump. Don't trade Mookie Betts. I know it's going to cost you a hell of a lot of money, but if you're trying to get out of the luxury tax, you trade David Price and Andrew Benintendi. And obviously that would have worked because Andrew Benintendi absolutely sucked last year and is not doing so hot through the start of this year. It's better than it was, but it's still not great. Adam, don't give me that look. You know it's true.
No.
Yes.
You have you.
He batted a 103 and now he's batting a 207. All right, he's doubled his progress and he still sucks.
I'm not even talking about that. You literally earlier this offseason, you said the Mookie Betts trade was the right move. Now yes, you turn around and you say this is a horrible move.
I never said it was a horrible move.
You just
I can agree with it because
you said don't trade Mookie Betts.
No, I personally as a homer, I didn't want them to trade Mookie Betts. If they could have traded David Price and Andrew Benintendi for obviously somebody not named Alex Verdugo, I would have loved that. But obviously that wasn't the case under the luxury tax. They needed to get rid of Mookie, which I get. We get Alex Verdugo, who is going to be a multiple-time All-Star for this Red Sox team and is going to be the electrifying piece that we need. I am not mad at the trade. I'm not mad at the Andrew Benintendi trade either. I think that was a great trade for the Red Sox. But you, shut up. JD, how about them Yankees?
All right, to bring us back to actually the Yankees, I agree, slow start, as long as they stay healthy, and it's always been a stay healthy thing for them, even though they make it every year. The Yankees stay healthy. They'll finish 1 or 2. Hopefully it's 2. Hopefully somehow we keep this together all year and finish out 1. But they'll finish 2 because I think with the Rays, they're splitting their games right now. I think they'll split their games all year. And same with the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays are already kind of starting off tough with the injury problems. A lot of teams are going to have injury problems. But I think the Yankees, this is probably going to be their year to stay healthy. And if they stay healthy, they'll still be at the top.
That's a big ask for Judge and Stanton. They've never really been healthy throughout their careers. But really quick, let me take it over to the other two. How you guys feeling? Do you think the Yankees are still going to come out top?
I feel like, yes, it's a slow start. I like making fun of tell them James and Brian every day when they lose just to make them mad. Mm-hmm. But as I said, it's a slow start, but I feel like they always find a way and to get into the playoffs at the end of the season. And I feel like what JD said is just if they can stay away from injuries and get going at the right time, I feel like it could be either 1 or 2 right behind the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm. 100%. So we've been running for about a little over a half hour on this Red Sox team. Really quick, just to end it off, what do we got? By the next time I record a podcast on Sunday night, we are going to have 5 games. 2 against the Blue Jays, 3 against the Mariners. How many are we going to win, and if we're losing any, to who? For me, I'm saying we're getting 4 wins, and we're probably losing tomorrow against the Blue Jays. Adam, what are we thinking? Adam, you need to learn how to unmute yourself.
Shut up. Tonight is going to be a tough one, and it's going to be an interesting matchup because we have Eduardo Rodriguez, our best guy, going against Ryu, the Blue Jays' best guy. Ryu, the Blue Jays' best guy, and this is going to be interesting. Interesting way to kick things off. Great pitching matchup. The Blue Jays are an up-and-coming team, and they have the potential to win this game, especially with the offense that the Red Sox have. But I have confidence that they'll be able to pull off the series win, regardless of if they can't win the game tonight. If they win the game tonight, they're winning the series, I think. But if they don't, I still wouldn't rule it out.
Mm-hmm. Patrick.
I think the Blue Jays are actually a really good team. I think they're basically us. They might even be a little more refined. So I think probably just like split the series with them. But the big thing is the Mariners. I think it's a little too much to ask for a sweep or to expect. So I probably drop 1 game somewhere along the way.
I gotcha. And that's kind of the same thing I said. Just 1 loss. But I'm saying we sweep the Mariners because screw the Mariners. JD.
I'm going to agree with Adam. I think the entire week is going to depend on what happens tonight. They win tonight. I'm going to say just a full sweep. We don't lose any this week. I think we win the second game against Toronto. The Mariners, living kind of on this side of the West Coast, I have a lot of people who are Mariners fans, so I follow them just as well. I think it's very easy to take all 3 games to the Mariners. However, I think that if we lose tonight against the Blue Jays, I think that will also carry a loss to the Mariners. Just with the games being all in a row, we're going to have to shuffle people around. Is going to be towards the end. Don't know if Garrett Richards or it's going to be or if it'll be Houck getting one of those starts against the Mariners. But I think if we lose tonight, it's either going to be Richards or Houck taking a loss against the Mariners.
I could see that. Yeah, I would love it if our rotation, for now until Sale gets back, is Erod, Evaldi, Perez, Pivetta, Houck. Those 5 have Whitlock, Richards off the bullpen with Barnes being our closer. 2 up there. How many are we winning? Consensus looks like 3 or 4.
I'm going to say probably 4 out of the 5. I agree with Adam on this one. Tough pitching matchup tonight. We got to pile some runs up against a good starter in Ryu. But I say, probably 4 out of the 5.
I got 3. You guys are 1 and 3, if not 4.
Who are we losing both to Blue Jays?
You're going to lose. I kind of want to see you guys lose 1 to the Blue Jays and 1 to the Mariners.
I mean, we lost 3 to the Orioles. Anything is possible.
Like I said, this team's just a very streaky team. There are going to be points this season where we're going to lose 5 in a row. And we're going to be like, sell the entire franchise. Like, just get rid of it all. Guaranteed. This season, we might go on like an 8-game losing streak, and it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. But then we'll have times where we'll go on an 8, 9, 10-game win streak, and we'll be like, this is a World Series contending team. But with that being said, that's all we got for the Red Sox action. For the Fumblerooski members that have been sticking with us, now you get to listen to Adam, which I don't know why you guys do that, but Adam, you are quote unquote the football expert along with Justin. Y'all take it over from here.
All right. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've felt like absolute garbage the past couple of days, so I haven't had much of a chance to review and put together much of a script yet. But we have a couple things going on. There is the NFL draft that's right around the corner. A couple of rumored NFL trades coming up. Robert, you mentioned off camera Carolina has been thinking about trading down, which is an interesting thing, and I could bring that up in a minute. There's also been the Dolphins rumored to trade down, which is also interesting because they've been seesawing back and forth for the past couple of weeks. There's Alex Smith's retirement, but I think first I'd like to go around the horn and see how you get some thoughts from you guys on the current state of the NFL. I know it's the off season. There's not too much going on besides the draft, but I'll start with my other co-host, Justin. Justin, you have any thoughts on the NFL world right now?
As far as right now, it's the draft. Hopefully my team drafts well like it always does, because it's us. And as
Marquise Brown.
Whatever. As things continue to regress, I'm seeing more and more teams are more open to like trading back in the draft, which is weird. Mainly the Giants. Why are you trading back? Stay there and get a wide receiver for your quarterback, or get some help on that line. But other than that, I think I'm okay. That's where I think the state of the NFL is. Andrew?
Yeah, I feel like definitely Miami they don't know what they want to do right now in order of their spot, but I feel like I'm not really too sure. Yeah.
It's very interesting with the Miami Dolphins. I really thought they knew what the hell they're doing right now, and I thought that because if both of their trades where they went back and then they went back up again, I thought, okay, they know what they're doing, they have a plan. But now that they're thinking of trading back again, it's like, do you guys really know what you're doing? And I'm holding, even as a Patriots fan, I'm holding out hope. They're kind of becoming a little bit of a likable team, a little bit of a fun team to watch. They're up and coming, but if there's some signs of dysfunction or just not even knowing what they're doing, you wonder if there even really is a bright future for them. I'm sure they're going to be good for a couple of years, but will it be sustainable? All right, Robert.
So the one thing I want to say about the Dolphins is, yeah, they're kind of going up and down and up and down. I talked to a couple Eagles fans, one being Brendan Zalucci, and he was pissed. He was pissed at them trading back. He was like, why, if you have a top wide receiver at your fingertips with pick 6, why do you trade back? And here's the thing with both of Miami and Carolina, I can see them both trading back. I don't think Miami will trade back unless it's draft day. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, 1 through 4 is most likely going to be a quarterback. It's probably going to go Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, Lance. And then 5 is the Bengals.
I wouldn't be so sure about 4.
I'd put my money down on it at 4.
Unless Atlanta,
because it's the Falcons and they're going to do something like that.
At 3 is questionable. Mac Jones might go to San Francisco.
Maybe. I can maybe see that. But 5 is going to be Sewell, because if the Bengals mess up that pick, everybody hates the Bengals, because we're not watching Joe Burrow go through that again. The Giants need to keep their spot to draft an O-lineman. That's their main need. Wide receiver, they're fine. They just signed Golladay. They have Slayton, Shepard, and they got rid of Golden Tate. So they already have a 3-headed monster at wide receiver. They need O-line. Andrew Thomas has just not been it. Nate Solder's gone, thank God. But they legit only have like 3 guys that they can trust on that O-line. And that's if you trust Andrew Thomas.
All right, JD.
So to focus on maybe the quarterbacks, to kind of touch upon what's already been slightly hinted at, I'm really interested in what San Francisco is going to do at 3, because 1 and 2 seem to be locks, especially with just trading Sam Darnold as I thought they would. I'm kind of curious at why they would trade up for Mac Jones, because I don't think a lot of teams would have taken, if anybody else was trading up to 3, that they would take Mac Jones at that spot. Mac Jones is someone that people think would even fall to the Patriots at 15, but it seems like they're going to trade up to take him at 3. But also the receivers are going to be interesting. I'm wondering who's going to go first. If it really is going to be Jamar Chase, and I actually think that the Bengals would take Jamar Chase over O-line because O-line is going to be spotty, and just getting Penei Sewell is not going to fix an entire offensive line that needs fixing. It doesn't matter if Penei Sewell is going to be great if the other four guys aren't going to block. So I think maybe adding another receiver on that Bengals team might actually be a bigger priority because AJ Green is now with the Cardinals. All there is Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd shows some flashes, but again, I think he's a nice complementary two guy. Same with Higgins, could be a nice complementary two guy. I actually think they need to go with Jamar Chase right there. But I'm really interested to see, not about QBs, I'm interested to see who's going to be the first wide receiver taken off the board.
Yeah, it's interesting when you mention the 49ers because I feel like we all know that they're going to take a quarterback. It's just a matter of which one. And we felt like it was going to be Mac Jones before. Like we were almost positive it was going to be Mac Jones. And now we're hearing a lot more reports coming out that, it's going to be Trey Lance. Justin Fields has emerged as the favorite. It's just become, your guess is as good as mine on who they're actually going to take at quarterback during this draft. As for your take on the Bengals, that is true. They, there has been a little bit of a temptation by the Bengals that, they might want to reunite Joey Burrow with Jamar Chase instead of addressing that offensive line, which could be trouble for that team if they don't try to get the protection that Joe Burrow needs. All right, Patrick?
Yeah, so I agree a lot with what you guys are saying, especially with probably Mac Jones to the 49ers and stuff, and obviously Lawrence and who was Wilson second to the Jets. I think those are probably going to happen. But I think the crazy thing is, like, if you look at the history the past few years, quarterbacks drafted in the first round don't stay with the team. So I think this push to get like the first 4 picks as quarterbacks, I don't really think that's actually going to happen. I think like Kyle Pitts might work his way into the 4th, whether it's a trade or maybe he just stays there. Who knows? He might even end up with the Giants because I feel like they definitely need a good pass-catching tight end because Evan Engram is just not doing it. But I just really think, especially when you think Goff and Mariota, Wentz, like the quarterbacks drafted first, second overall, they should be great, but history has shown they're not that safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you would think the number 1 overall, I'll come to you in a second, Justin. You would think the number 1 overall pick would be a lock, but it doesn't always work out that way. We saw Andrew Luck, he worked out. You can go back to Peyton Manning. He wound up working out. Let me know if I'm missing anybody. I don't know if you count Patrick Mahomes, who was drafted 10th overall, who was actually considered a reach at the time. There were some rumors that he may not even go in the first round, although the Saints have come out to say that they would have taken him at 11. Justin?
As far as where Adam is going with this, all 3 quarterbacks from the 2004 draft worked out. Eli Manning, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers worked out. So if you can find the guy you need for your team, I can see long sustaining success. And it's too young for me to say like the 2018 draft class because, it's still a young draft class, even though the 2017 draft class isn't looking too good with Deshaun and Mitchell Trubisky. But what I will say is I do believe within the first 4 picks, it will go quarterbacks because it depends on what Atlanta does at the number 4 spot. If Fields is there at number 4, I do think they're kind of inclined to get him based upon if they can get a quarterback on the cheap to deal with Matt Ryan's contract in his years leading up later. And as he gets older, I believe if they do find themselves in position to draft a quarterback for longer sustaining success, I think you do go for it. Now, will they? I don't know. It's the Falcons. But if Fields is there, it'd be pretty tempting for them to take it.
See, I completely agree. I think it's a very real possibility. 1 through 4 is all quarterbacks. I think what Patrick is trying to say here is that it's not a lock. That it's going to be. It could be. Couldn't you see even if the Atlanta decides to stay at number 4, couldn't you see them taking a Kyle Pitts, because they're not set at at tight end. And imagine that offense. You have Matt Ryan throwing to Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, and Kyle Pitts. Like, imagine that offense right there. It's absolutely insane. But I don't think it's and you can see the Dolphins trading up to go up to number 4 and take Kyle Pitts. It's not, I don't see it out of the realm of possibility that number 4 is not a quarterback. But all right, it's my turn. So I'm going to explain why why it's really intriguing to me that the Carolina Panthers are thinking about trading down. And call me a biased Patriots fan, but think about it this way. Carolina took themselves out of the quarterback market earlier this month by trading for Sam Darnold. And there was some talks earlier in the wake of that trade saying, well, they don't need a quarterback anymore. Is there a possibility they could trade back? And now there's rumors that might happen. Now, what's a team that has needed a quarterback and has wanted to trade up? The New England Patriots. So, if they trade back to say number 15, the Patriots could be knocking at the door and they could try to trade up to number 8, where there's a real possibility that a Trey Lance or one of Trey Lance, Mac Jones, or Justin Fields winds up falling there. I've mentioned this all ever since they brought back Cam Newton and made that just absolutely crazy spending spree. Is that the way this team is built? It's like building this really nice car and not putting an engine in. Having the engine being or not having a bad engine in Cam Newton. So it just wouldn't. Give me a break.
I wouldn't say having a bad engine. It's more like having a deflated front left tire, I'd call it.
Nah, the quarterback's the engine of the team. The quarterback runs the show.
And plus, we don't have a run game to settle a week.
It would make a lot of sense if they were to trade up, complete this big rebuild process that Bill Belichick has tried to pull off overnight, and make some Patriots fans happy. I think this is something that could actually work out. And they're going to have to trade number 15. They're probably going to have to trade another first round as well, at least a second rounder. But other than that, there's been a lot. But if you think about it, there's been a lot of different trades going on, and a lot of rumors for different trades going on. It's been very uncharacteristic that we see this many in the draft, at least in the top 10. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, let me just say, like I said, it's weird that the Carolina Panthers are looking to trade down, especially for where they are. If they were to trade, like, let's say back to 14 or 16 and get a first and a second, I can understand that. Just get more young assets into this team, because as of right now, they literally have, Sam Darnold might be okay in a new scenario that takes them obviously out of the QB market. Robbie Anderson he's on the Panthers, right? Or is he on the Jets?
Panthers.
He is on the Panthers. Okay. Robbie Anderson is still a good young wide receiver. that's going to work well for them. But Jeremy Chin is a good player on the defensive side. Other than that, what do they really got? There's not too much that Carolina team. So if they're going to trade back, they're trading back for a first and a second. Other than that, a deal is stupid to trade back.
Yeah, definitely. They want to trade back, get some more assets.
They have Christian McCaffrey too and DJ Moore.
Yeah, you're missing those two.
Obviously, I know about Christian McCaffrey. Okay, but
clearly you didn't. If you said they don't have anything else.
Well, you know what?
Got a little something.
How do you mention Robbie Anderson and not Christian McCaffrey?
Why do I deal with you people? All right.
Why do I deal with you? You forgot about Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, this is my show, okay? You're making a guest appearance,
and
I'm letting you use my footage for your podcast.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I will kick you out of this meeting. Help me. I will kick you out. I have the power.
Leadership.
I have the power
in this podcast.
I have the power.
For this
Don't
last
make me
half.
do it. Don't make me do it. That's what I thought.
Come on, Adam. Chill. We need you.
Let's say something else. Say something else.
Something else? You forgot about DJ Moore.
And Adam is gone.
Why did you do that?
Now he's back.
It looks bad.
And now he's back. I told you I had the power. All right. Say whatever you're saying, Adam.
You forgot about DJ Moore. And you know who?
All right, I'm sorry. Adam's muted. I can't deal with him right now. Patrick, say something and turn this ship right, okay? Just help me out here, please.
I mean, real quick, the Panthers, though, I think, and the Miami Dolphins, too, if we're staying on those two teams, where they're super young, and I feel like they're actually kind of well coached. So if they're just getting a ton of assets, just keep trading back, getting best player available, they're not really, pressured into doing anything like winning now. So I think they're really well off for the future. And I think the Sam Darnold trade was actually really good because I think obviously he has a lot of talent. He went very high, but just in a new system with a new coach, I think you can really, really.
Adam, you're hosting this. Hello, you alive?
Yes, I am.
Terrible job.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with those two. They're very they are very young teams that are on the upswing, and you have to wonder if it's in these times like this where you really see what teams are like when they rebuild, how professional these organizations are. You have the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers who have historically been a very good franchise, and you see why they are, because they make smart moves, especially at quarterback. And then you look at teams like the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. They've been making good moves so far, but this rumor that the Miami Dolphins want to trade back has me scratching my head a little bit, because I thought they had a plan at first, but if they're thinking of trading back again, it just comes off very indecisive for me. And it's kind of the same. And don't get me wrong, the Carolina Panthers, if they trade back, that'd be good to collect some assets. You still have to cash in with those assets and create, produce good players who can carry them to championship contention. And it remains to be seen. We're gonna be watching these teams and what they do for the next couple of years, and we'll see if they can do well with the moves that they've done. But Justin, do you have any other thoughts?
As far as the Patriots are concerned, Cam Newton is going to help y'all. He's going to help y'all in the long run. He's going to help the passing game. He's definitely going to help the run game. And
2 passing touchdowns in Gillette last year.
Doesn't matter. He was in a new system, had COVID, and he was coming off surgery.
He throws the ball at people's feet. That's not the object.
Well, you guys can't catch with your hands.
That's not the object of the game. You're supposed to hit him in stride.
But every time he does that, you guys drop the passes, so it doesn't.
I know it's a mix between Cam Newton and we didn't really have a ton of weapons last year.
But now you guys got weapons.
2 touchdowns in Gillette is not a result of the system. 2 touchdowns in Gillette is your damn fault.
Yes, when Josh Allen has 4 of them by himself.
How many rushing touchdowns?
That's a good question. I don't know.
That's because,
enough.
That's because he only cares about
enough
himself.
to make it to the playoffs. Let's go.
But they didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't have enough.
They might be able to squeeze in as a 7th seed and then get bounced.
Justin, you make me upset. Go back to talking about the Ravens. All right, they're gonna get out of the second round as always, and we'll call it a day.
Listen. We're gonna make the AFC Championship game this year.
Hell no. Super Bowl predictions. Go. Justin and Andrew. Super Bowl prediction.
Buccaneers, Ravens.
Definitely the Buccaneers. I don't know. The AFC is still up. I like to see the Bills maybe pass the Chiefs, but
this is gonna kill me coming from a Patriots standpoint. But if I'm being completely unbiased, I would love to see a Seahawks-Bills Super Bowl. JD.
In order to not repeat with what other people are gonna say, I'm actually gonna say Bucks Steelers because Steelers are always kind of there. I actually think they bounce back. I see Justin laughing mainly because he's a Ravens fan. I absolutely despise the Steelers, but I actually think that with their young core, hear me out. The receiving core, I think, especially with this, 3-year extension with Mike Tomlin, he's really going to push it into these receivers to stop these drops. It's going to be a tough offseason for these Steelers. I think they will come back. They will win the division. They will do well in the playoffs. I think they could. And I know it's kind of out there, but, the Bucks the Bills and the Chiefs are talked about a lot. And I think you actually have to look around the AFC. AFC is always going to be the most open side out there now that the Pats are rebuilding. So I'm going to go with someone different.
With all due respectfully, hell no, they're not making it to the Super Bowl, let alone winning the division. No.
Did you see how bad it got with the Browns? All right. I had to turn it off because I didn't think that stuff was legal.
Oh, the damn towel.
Yes. I guarantee that was not legal in like 4 different states on what they did to the Steelers. All right. Well, the main question to ask about the Steelers is which is going to happen more? Touchdowns caught by Juju or TikToks made by Juju? Which is going to be more?
TikToks
and receptions.
It's pathetic. Patrick.
Claypool are the dynamic duo of TikTok.
Beautiful thing when we're talking about football.
So realistically, I think it's probably going to be the Bills and the Buccaneers. It's going to be another, the best teams are just going to end up making it. Especially that they're probably going to be the 1 seeds, have the only buys. But honestly, I kind of think a dark horse in the AFC is the Browns. I don't know, for some reason Mayfield, he's starting to turn it up a little bit. I think they might be able to turn something around.
Okay, Adam, before you say anything, I'm sorry, but I just think we all have to give him a little standing ovation because he did not say the Cowboys. Give it up for Patrick. He's being unbiased. I love it. All right, Adam, I'm sorry.
It's like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Him admitting that the Cowboys aren't contenders. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna start with the shoe-in for me, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Unless Tom Brady falls off this cliff that Max Kellerman's been predicting for the past half decade, I don't see them not making the Super Bowl, especially since they basically brought back the exact same team and they have a first round pick and there's still the rest of the draft to come. So that team, and especially with that quarterback, Tom Brady, another year in that system, there's just no way he doesn't get better unless he just absolutely falls off the cliff. Other than that, but as for the AFC, it's a tough one because I don't think the Chiefs are as much of a lock to make it in as they were. I don't even think they are a lock at all to make it in, like they were the past few seasons where people were just like, oh, you might as well just give them the trophy now, even though they only won one of them. But I think I'm gonna go bold and go with the Colts. I think that team is built well, and I think that team has. And this is assuming that Carson Wentz winds up regaining his 2017 Eagles form. That Eagles team has the exact same makeup as that old Eagles team. They have the old quarterback coach Frank Reich. They have Carson Wentz given a change of scenery. They have a few very solid receivers in T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman. They have a better running game, to be honest. For really being honest, Nyheim Hines. They have Jonathan Taylor, even Jordan Wilkins, or I think that's his name. But he was a solid number 3 back. That defense is very good as well. Probably just as competent as that Eagles team. The offensive line just as good. This team is literally the 2017 Eagles team. And how'd that work out? Worked out very, very well. So I'm going to go with Buccaneers, Buccaneers, Colts. Might as well be the Eagles. But
I gotta say one thing about that. Nick Foles was the one that brought him there. Don't forget that.
And Tom Brady lost it for y'all. Don't y'all forget it.
Justin, do we have to take this outside? So help me. All right. I was going to school down in New Jersey watching that Super Bowl. I talked so much crap to everyone around me who was all Eagles fans because we were right on the border. We were very close to Pennsylvania, but that was not fun.
Justin, you pronounced Patriots defense wrong.
There was no such thing in that Super Bowl.
No, I said it right. I said Brady.
No, you said Tom Brady when you were supposed to pronounce it as Patriots.
Tom Brady had a record for the most amount of passing yards in a Super Bowl.
More specifically,
he's used to doing
the lack of Malcolm Butler in that game.
Yeah, that was going to make a difference. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. He's the number 2 corner where they were in a 1-score game where they were bullying Eric Rowe all game. Absolutely, you better believe it.
Okay, keep telling yourself. Keep telling yourself.
Adam, before we start wrapping the show up, I got one more football question I want to ask. If you have one better, let me know and we'll talk about that. But I have one more question. What's the deal with the quarterback room for the football team? All right, because Taylor Heineke showed us that he could play big in big situations. Went almost toe-to-toe with the greatest quarterback of all time. But that's only a 1-game sample. He got his multi-year contract. He deserved the bag for that game, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, is he the starting option? Then you have Ryan Fitzmagic, a 37-year-old guy, 38, who is coming off of like 11 different teams that he's played for. And you're going to say he's really the answer when you let go of Alex Smith, who is younger and has been more faithful to your team to make it through 2 years of surgery, just come back and play for you guys and lead you to the NFC East divisional win? The question is, are they going to draft a quarterback with their late first-round pick? One will probably fall to them, but the last time they had a first-round pick in the late teens, there was a guy named Dwayne Haskins that they drafted, and obviously that didn't turn out great. So, Adam, let's start off with you running around the horn. With the first-round pick, what are we thinking for the football team?
I honestly don't think they're going quarterback simply because who is projected to go in that first round? Late in that first round. Most of their quarterback talent is all going in that top 10 to 15.
But realistically,
range.
Who needs a QB outside the top 4?
Who needs a quarterback outside the top 4?
Correct me if I'm forgetting about somebody, but I don't think anyone else from 5 to 15 needs a QB.
besides maybe the Patriots.
Chicago Bears.
They've already came out and said Dalton's the number one, which is gross, but you got me there.
They're only settling on him. You know they were trying to get the Seattle Seahawks to bite on Russell Wilson. So they're clearly just settling on him. But as for the Washington football team, I'm sure they would love a franchise quarterback, but I don't think that's the direction they're trying to go in. It seems like they're just trying to build a team around a decent quarterback, like a Taylor Heineke or a Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they just try to win with that, and they win on defense, and the surrounding offense makes the quarterback look better than he actually is. Now, could they take a quarterback in future drafts? Yeah, sure. They can't. You can't go with this. We're going to go with a veteran quarterback forever, especially since they haven't really had a franchise quarterback for about as long as we can remember. We're not counting Robert Griffin III, but I just don't see it happening.
Patrick, what are you thinking?
I think Fitzpatrick might not start as the number one the first week, but I think he's probably going to earn it within like the third or fourth week.
You don't think they're going to draft any other QB?
Probably not. I don't think there's really a need to. They have Fitzpatrick for a reason. I don't think they would have brought him in if they were still thinking about drafting somebody else.
Hey, right there. JD.
So I'm going to say I don't think it matters who's going to start because this is Washington and they have one of the worst medical rooms. And I'm going to say that no matter who starts, they're not making it out the entire year. But I want to see Fitzmagic Patrick. I think he's shown through the past couple of years between the Buccaneers and the Dolphins that he still has a lot in him. And I think especially with the Dolphins, he's shown that, he's kind of excelled in all the games that he played. He was kind of pulled for Tua for no reason. It seemed like they were winning and they didn't want to win. And so they switched it up and they still ended up winning. And you saw a lot of times where Tua was pulled for, Fitzpatrick down the stretch. So I think you're going to have to go with the more experienced guy. As far as that first round draft pick, I don't think there's a reason to draft a quarterback in the first round for the reason that Adam stated. The fact of the matter is that with this being a draft where a lot of teams need quarterback, there's not going to be someone that you're going to want to take with the 19th pick overall. Anybody that's going to be, available there, it's probably going to be a reach. So I'm going to say either go somewhere on defense. They have a really solid offense right now. Maybe get a cornerback to help the secondary, whether that's if Farley falls, because you're not going to get J.C. Horn you're probably not going to get Surtain. So whether that's Farley or reaching for possibly Asante Samuel Jr. or I even could take someone at linebacker, but I think it's going to be a defensive focus. They've taken a lot of defense last year, and I think they're going to want to boost their defense again this year as opposed to the offense.
Yeah, I can see that. And another team I completely forgot on that could use a quarterback is the Broncos. Broncos could surprise us and take a QB, but
yeah, but they're in the top 10. That's why I didn't mention them.
I know, but could they maybe surprise us and take QB and say we're done with Drew Lock?
You think that'd be a surprise? I thought I'm almost expecting it.
With what Elway is telling us, I think it might be a surprise if they do. But we run it a little bit long. Let's get to the 2 real quick, and then we'll call it an episode.
As far as Washington is concerned, I like Heineke, but I think at the end of the season it probably will be Fitzy because I think after all he's been through, he kind of deserves it. I think sooner or later down the stretch, I think Taylor Heineke might have 1 or 2 bad games where they'll say, let's see what Fitz has, depending on if they're still in the race for the NFC East, which they probably will be because that division sucks. But so they do have the potential to win the division. Yeah, Fitzmagic will probably be there to hopefully win the division for them.
Yeah, I agree with Justin and mostly everybody else. I feel like it's going to be Fitzpatrick's team. Like maybe after like 1 or 2 starts from Heineke, but I feel like he's the go-to, and I feel like they would not want to draft a quarterback and maybe go for the defense, as JD said.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. So that leads us to the end. We've been recording for a little over an hour at this point, so it's a good time to stop it. I want to go around the horn real quick, see if you guys want to say anything to the either Fumblerooski or Pesky Pole Podcast fans that are listening. JD, let's start with you.
Oh, I just want to say thank you for having me again. Good start to this season. Hopefully, as it seemed that the Boston teams last year all followed the same trend of having down years, but everybody follows the uptrend of the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Patrick, and plus, if you guys got anything you want to plug too, your Instagram, your Twitter, something like that, let me know and I'll put it in the description for at least mine, and hopefully Adam will remember to do it for his also.
No, just thanks for having me, guys. It's fun talking about baseball and football, and I mean, we probably know the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl, but that's it.
I have the power to kick him out too. All right, I got to remember that. I have the power. But what was I say? Yeah, definitely with you two, JD and Patrick, I'm definitely going to have you guys on the show again. You already know. Adam, plug your stuff for the Pesky Pole people and say whatever else you want to say about Franchi Cordero.
You can take Franchi Cordero.
PG show. You
can take Franchi Cordero and stuff him. He is he's batting 270 right now, but enjoy that while it lasts, Robert. That's all I have to say. But it's always great to partner up with the Pesky Pole Podcast, you know, assembling the Avengers out here. We got the 6 of us in here today. Brian couldn't make it. I meant to talk about the other Brian.
We're not talking about Redhead Brian. He's
Redhead
gone.
Brian.
R.I.P. Moment of silence.
Brian is out tonight. But it's great. You know, amazing start by the Red Sox. I really hope it lasts. If it doesn't, then I mean, we didn't expect much, but I would love to have a baseball season this year. So far, we do. As for the NFL world, it's been a great offseason. Justin can agree with me. We've had so much stuff to talk about this offseason, especially with the startup we've had. We've been able to we kind of started right before the offseason. Well, a little bit before the offseason, and we were a little nervous with the amount of with the lack that there would be a lack of content. We've had no shortage of that. This has probably been the craziest offseason I've ever seen, and I'm blessed that we've been able to cover it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You guys got very lucky. Well, I can say that this offseason for the Red Sox was very eventful for me. There were some weeks where it was like, okay, can we do something, anything? Can we just like sign a minor league player so I have something to talk about?
It wasn't that eventful.
Yeah, other times we had some big trades. The Ottavino trade, you know, signing Richards and Kike and all that stuff. Let's throw it to the 2 real quick.
You have anything you want to say?
I feel I just want the Red Sox to continue to do well. Hopefully they come on top of the division, and if they do better than the Yankees, you know, I'm gonna brag to my to Brian and James. So yeah, hopefully they can stay on top, do what they do best.
As far as me, I was watching the Pat McAfee show today, and it kind of made me propose this question to everybody else out there. As a Patriots fan, who would you rather have? Mac Jones or Jordan Love? I'll leave it to the Pesky Pole Podcast to put a poll out there and wait for you guys to decide.
I'm not sure how many of my fans are true football fans, but I will definitely put a poll out there and just see what the people are thinking. But with that being said, a huge thank you to all 5 of you for coming out. I know it took us about a week to get this set up, but I wanted everyone on the show for this insanely immature special occasion, because how many podcasts get to say they've had this lineup so perfectly? You know, I've been working for over a year on this just for this moment. It's a beautiful thing. So, that being said, to the fans, thank you guys so much, whether you're coming from Pesky Pole Podcast Nation, or the Fumblerooski Podcast. Thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. We will see you guys in the next episode.
It's the calm before the storm. Things aren't as they were before. You best start bracing. Did you think you could keep us out? Shut the gates, forget us now. The tides are changing. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Once you shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution. Can you hear the sound? Ground beneath your feet, with a whisper in the trees. Do you feel us watching? Hunger in our eyes, victories on our minds. It's our time to rise. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Once you shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution. Can you hear the sound? We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution.